Well, a number of potential presidential hopefuls made their pitch to an influential evangelical audience this weekend. As David Brody reports, they took their message to the Faith and Freedom Coalition's Road to Majority Conference right here in Washington, D.C.
The goal of this weekend's strategy session, win back the White House and keep the majority. With more than 1 million members, the Faith and Freedom Coalition knows it will need more evangelical soldiers to join the fight. Despite high turnout in the past, CEO Ralph Reed says the GOP must do its part too.
We're not the Republican Party at prayer. We're not a super PAC for a future nominee. That's not us. We're a faith-based organization that registers, mobilizes, and turns out Christian voters. And we do our job, and we do it very well, thank you very much. What we cannot do is we can't do the job of the candidate.
And more than a dozen potential candidates came here hammering issues near and dear to their audience. Rand Paul talked to CBN News about balancing liberty and virtue.
Just being free is not enough. And in fact, if you are free and you have all of your liberty, if you have no structure to your life, if you have no tradition, if you have no faith to sort of be the underpinnings of society, that it really may not work.
Ted Cruz also made a prediction.
I believe 2016 will be the religious liberty election. In fact, just this week, I think the EPA has named religious liberty an endangered species.
The key for these speakers is to make a good impression that will stay with voters.
They've all given good speeches. I've heard Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz and Rand Paul, Ben Carson.
There are so many presidential candidates out there, it really is hard to keep track. But there is one person that showed up here that isn't a presidential candidate just yet, but he's getting ready and he's attracting a lot of buzz. It's Ohio Governor John Kasich. He brings a strong resume, a popular governor with a successful record from a key swing state who likes talking about his Christian faith. What's the calling card? What is it about you that could potentially differentiate
Well, it's
yourself?
experience and record. I mean, amateur hour is over. It's not about tell me, it's about show me. And I think it's time that we're able to support somebody that has a solid record of accomplishment, because that's what we need in America. No more on-the-job training.
Kasich surely won't be the last to jump in. 3 governors, Chris Christie, Scott Walker, and Bobby Jindal, are set to make moves in the next few weeks. It will then be up to primary voters to trim this standing room only field into one standout candidate that they believe can put the GOP on the road to success. David Brody, CBN News, Washington.
Thanks, David. Pat, a pretty big crowd there this weekend.
Well, I said at the beginning of this thing that the dream ticket would be Jeb Bush for president and John Kasich as vice president. But Kasich was head of the House Budget Committee. He's expert on budget matters, and he's been a superb governor of one of the biggest states in the nation, and one that has had Democrat majorities along the way. And he's gotten together with the unions, he's gotten together with Democrats and Republicans, and he's done, as what he said, amateur hour is over. We've got amateur hour in the White House right now. That's what happens when you put in somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. So without question, a governor is better qualified to run this gigantic enterprise called the United States government than somebody who comes out of the legislative branch. There is no question about it, and there are many governors right now who are running. So you've got the former governor of Texas, and you've got the former governor of Florida, and now you have the sitting governor of Ohio, you have the governor of Wisconsin, and you have the governor of New Jersey. So we have a number of governors as well as some very distinguished senators.
So with his history and his success record, why would you not flip that and have Kasich run for president with Jeb as his vice president?
He would be a very good first, I don't know whether he'll have the money. I mean, Jeb will have the money and the momentum going in. But either one of them would make a superb president. They really would. But hey, it's too early to tell. They're still out there fighting. But I think Kasich has the common touch. He speaks to the blue-collar workers of Ohio and the nation. And, there's no way you're going to pin what they did with Mitt Romney, that he's some out-of-touch plutocrat. He's just not. He's just,
He's got a certain toughness that I think appeals to people, too.
He's a good guy. And his mother used to watch the 700 Club. That's what's so important about him.
What other news do we need?
What else would you possibly need as a candidate?